Indonesia is used to calamity, but there's never been anything quite like this. This mud lake in East Java is so vast, it has so far swallowed a dozen villages. And the mud is still flowing.
Ya sekarang kena lumpur, nggak bisa tidur, memikirkan semua anak-anaknya itu bagaimana nasibnya. Dulu enak, sekarang susah.
Suziati, who has 3 children, lived in the village of Basuki. Her village was swallowed by the torrent.
Itu rumah saya, Om, sudah kena lumpur, nggak bisa ditempati. Iya, ini pondok.
Ibu kangen nggak, Bu, sama rumahnya, Bu?
Ya kangen. Gimana lewatnya, sudah lumpurnya itu banyak, bau di sana itu.
It all began in 2006, when the mud began erupting from the earth close to a gas drilling site. Experts remain divided on who's to blame. You're in no doubt that this was a natural disaster.
Yeah, no doubt. For me, this is a natural disaster.
That view is disputed by a team of international ecologists, including Australian mud volcano expert TINGAY.
Underneath that is a city that is completely buried.
He says the mud volcano is the result of a drilling accident at a nearby gas exploration site owned by Indonesian energy giant Lapindo Brantas.
There's no theory known to science after hundreds of years of studying earthquakes by which that earthquake could have triggered off the mud volcano.
But Lapindo's vice president, Uniwati Teriana, denies her company's responsible.
We cannot accept that their finding because we also have an expert here that there is any correlation between the drilling activities and the mud eruption itself.
The company cites a new scientific report that says it was an earthquake more than 200 kilometers away that was to blame for the mud volcano they call Lucy. While the debate rages, the spill has dictated a new lifestyle for the survivors. Many live in makeshift homes beside a now disused highway severed by the mud. And now there's more danger. Dave, a local cafe owner, is showing me what's now gurgling in his backyard. So this is natural gas?
Yes.
Highly flammable methane gas, to be precise.
It really smells.
You can smell gas in this room. Nearby, fresh cracks point to a build-up of more gas.
It really smells though. The weather is...
How do you live with the smell? I get used to it, he tells me, seemingly unbothered by the danger of living here.
If I take my lighter out now, boom.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. The area is now highly combustible.
Whoa. Natural.
It's the gas that's pushing the mud to the surface from a depth of more than 3,000 meters. But some survivors are making the best of these hazardous conditions. A makeshift stove captures the escaping gas. They don't know why there's now so much gas, but it's been that way ever since the mud volcano erupted. And it's been blamed for a number of recent explosions.
There's really nowhere for a lot of people to go. The area is considered dangerous and at high risk by the management agency, but these are people's homes and people don't want to leave their homes.
In a 2009 decision that many found hard to fathom, Indonesia's Supreme Court cleared the company involved, Lapindo, of responsibility. But it still ordered the company to pay compensation to the victims.
As always happens in Indonesia, justice sides with the rich and powerful. Isn't that the truth?
It's not the truth. It's not the truth. I think it's not the truth. That's only, again, their assumption.
And the assumption that anyone at Lapindo should be punished is also wrong, says the company's vice president, Uniwati Teriana.
Has anyone at Lapindo lost their job or been reprimanded for what happened?
No, no. We're still here. We still have our expert is still here.
So no one's been fired? No one's been
No,
punished?
one's fired. It's no fault. No, we still exist.
Many victims are resisting Lapindo's compensation offer because it's conditional on selling their land and property to the company at a knockdown rate. But payments have stopped altogether now, with the company blaming financial difficulties.
Yeah, we acknowledge about it. We acknowledge about it because of the situation of our financial problem as well. But actually, they should not worry about it because we still have a commitment that we are going to continue to settle our payment until finished.
Environmentalists claim the company has got away with murder and that its executives should be put on trial.
This is the largest ecological disasters that we have been facing on.
So it's the largest ecological disaster in Indonesia, but no one's gone to jail?
Yeah, exactly like that. It's complicated.
No one's been punished?
No one's punished.
Lapindo is owned by Abu Rizal Bakrie, one of Indonesia's wealthiest men. At the time of the disaster, he was the government's Minister for Welfare. Today, he leads the Golkar party and is seen as a future presidential candidate. In January, Mr. Bakrie's son was married in a lavish wedding ceremony, the bill for which reportedly ran into millions of dollars. A few months later, money promised to the victims began drying up.
Kenapa dulu menikahnya anaknya Abdul Bakrie yang dimeriahkan? Oh iya, dilupakan sama Lapindo.
The company says the victim should stop complaining.
If they are too forced with us, I think it will not work. So who's going to take care of them? I think better they have to be patient, and then we are in our commitment still to continue our payments until final.
Lapindo claims it's so far paid more than $700 million in compensation and cleanup costs. But that's nothing compared to the real cost of the disaster, estimated to be a staggering $60 million a day. But with the company now legally in the clear, the government's now shouldering those hefty costs.
Total area is 720 hectares.
Geologist Mohammed Sofian Hadi works for the government agency that's been tasked with containing and cleaning up the spill. A cleanup which has led to some desperate measures, like diverting watery sludge into the nearby Porong River, where it's channeled out to sea, creating a new ecological disaster. No one disputes the damage that's been done to the ecosystem here. Yet Mohammed Hadi is keen to show me how the government plans to turn misfortune to financial advantage.
You can see the fish crawling in the top of the mud.
Here, where the Porong meets the East Java Sea, the mud has helped to create an 80 square hectare island.
We have a good dream about this. Maybe someday in the future we build a new forest of mangrove. We make a new spot of tourism, like fishing ground, like sport or skiing around here.
Little comfort, though, for the victims, who are still waiting for the mud to stop flowing.
Years or 30 years, sometimes they said that it could be 100 years. Can you imagine about it? That's according to the expert. Because this is very unpredictable situation.